Okay, hello everybody. This is just like an addendum to some of the, well, pretty much every video I've ever made. And the reason why I'm making it is because what I'm doing in this video is like a news update addendum. Okay, so the title of this video along the line, Learning Disabled Woman Being Gang Stalked in San Diego Exposes County Gang Stalking Maneuvers. Okay? Now, let me explain something to you. And I'm sure that you'll absolutely be able to make sense of this, even just with common sense, once you hear what I have to say. And gang stalking, organized stalking expeditions, which are absolutely being perpetrated at the federal, state, and local level, working together as a syndicate. What they do is employ a bunch of different methodologies, techniques, maneuvers, tactics, okay, and methods based on, but not limited to, the illegal covert GPS tracking of a target's cell phone. And what they'll do after they make a target homeless, and even before, it doesn't matter if the target's sleeping in their car, van, RV, motel room, apartment complex, even a house, or a boat. What they'll do is through physical covert surveillance, observation, and illegal GPS tracking of the target's cell phone, what they'll do is use their community connections that they have even cultivated through many different, the techniques they use to get the people that they use as buffers between the target and the police are many. To give you one illustration, a little visual illustration pertaining to how easy it is to get any community members to do anything for either a real police officer or an individual who's pretending to be one. Hold on. And they'll use individuals who are pretending to be police officers in case the effects of what they do ever go sideways. The police can say, well, sorry, we didn't have a police officer in the area that day. So in reference to if a person they use becomes aware that what they did was wrong, or if something goes sideways pertaining to the staged event, and then that person can be identified, the police can say, well, we never approached him or her and asked her to do anything. So let me tell you how this shit works in part, and please excuse my language. Let me finish smoking the cigarette. I'm a little stressed. Now, through the already aforementioned descriptions pertaining to the tracking, observation, stalking, surveillance, what they'll do, whether the target's homeless or not, and if the target's homeless, I guarantee you right now, 99.9% of the time they created it. So you can Google that to gang stalking, you'll see I'm telling you the truth, because it's all over the internet that they're doing this to targets, and 71% are women, human trafficking. So, in order for this organized criminal enterprise to operate at the federal, state, and local level, okay, in the system, okay. Oh, let me just backtrack for a second, because I told you I described to you a description, so you can type it in at YouTube to see a physical representation to just one of their techniques. Go to YouTube and type in "listen to a stranger." That video, from the very first second it starts up until the very last second of it, is about gang stalking, concerning how it can operate and how easy it is to get innocent people to do anything for an individual that has a badge, whether it be real and or fake. So, through the illegal aforementioned surveillance techniques that I've already described, what they'll do, and they can use store surveillance, they can use transportation surveillance, and they'll never admit it, absolutely not. What they'll do is call the target crazy concerning it, in order to protect the state, county, and even federal government from legal liability, in reference to how they're perpetrating these criminal realities, and even some of the federal, state, county, city, and town, government employee positions that are being used for this. So let me just explain what I'm talking about here. Through the aforementioned surveillance techniques and descriptions, what they'll do is track a target in real time until the target, like say if a target's camping because they've been made homeless, and then what they'll do is tell a sophisticated lie, combine it with a badge, real or fake, even a fake bogus criminal investigation file about a target, or even or a video of a target being in a compromised situation that they more than likely were put in because of the gang stalking. Okay, just bear with me. And then what they'll do is combine the real or fake badge, the fake bogus criminal investigation file, a slander campaign combined together, and they'll present it to the individuals that they're going to use. Neighborhood watch group members, neighborhood watch group wannabes, even police cadets, police reserve personnel, union employees, including government union employees. And what they'll do is they'll tell them where the target's at and when they're there. And then what they'll do is they'll prop them up. They'll use students. They'll even use kids. I literally got on my tape recorder, literally kids saying gang stalking. That's one of the ways they intentionally mentally harass me about being a victim of this crime, by propping up different types of people along my routes every day and saying gang stalking. It was caught again today at 2 different places at least. McDonald's off of Costa Verdes Plaza, and Ross Grocery Store off of La Jolla Village Square Drive. I'm being gang stalked in there like you would not believe. The second Rouse. Okay? Now, and the 2 routes are 35 miles apart. Now, what they'll do, okay, is through the illegal tracking of the target and surveillance, what they'll do is then wait till the target gets to the camping area, and what they'll do is they'll pretend like people are in the area just to enjoy the area for the type of area that it is. Okay, and then they'll use them to act like they seen or heard the target, or saw the target's property, okay, or stumbled across them, or seen them going in or coming out from the area they might be sleeping at, and then they'll be used as a buffer between the target and the police. That way, when the police approach them, the police can say, well, what do you think now? We're involved in the gang stalking? Okay, so it's a buffer. So the police have what's it called, plausible deniability concerning the arrest or the illegal lodging ticket, and everything that happens to the target in court as a result of the illegal lodging ticket and or arrest. Okay, so this is just one technique of how it's achieved. Now, I want you to go to Google, if you feel inclined to do so, and type in the community notification and gang stalking, the sexual offenders notification and gang stalking, the violent persons registry and gang stalking, and type that in and cross-reference it to first organized stalking, and then in separate searches, gang stalking. Neighborhood watch groups and gang stalking, police and gang stalking, firefighters and gang stalking, any type of person that's got any type of law enforcement, even park rangers. I've read a lot of information on the internet about their skanky asses, and I'm not just talking about San Diego. You can type in, like, say, type in right now at Google, New Jersey or Boston park rangers and gang stalking. Look at what comes up. Florida park rangers and gang stalking. Look at what comes up. Any California county, city, or state park rangers and gang stalking. Look at what comes up. Texas, Michigan. Look at what comes up, because these expeditions are going on in every state in the United States, because it's organized crime in a system in every state in the United States, and that's what they're doing, is using their employment descriptions in the system combined with other techniques, tactics, maneuvers, and schemes that they bring about against the target, and then use their employment descriptions to achieve their objectives, which is the criminal motivation. And they will use anything. They will call the target a drug addict, a drug dealer, a prostitute, a pedophile, any type of bogus, slanderous label that they can put, paranoid schizophrenic, mentally ill, whatever, in order to get that person or persons or group to believe the lie, combined with the other aforementioned descriptions, fake bogus criminal investigation files, real or fake badges, and then prop them up at the area the target's at. That way they can be the buffer between the target and the police. Use them to call the police. They'll even use parents walking with their kids, neighbors walking their dogs, teenagers. They'll use anybody and everybody. That way they can say, well, what do you think now, Leslie? Kids are gang stalking you? Teenagers? Joggers? Bicyclists? Do you see how clever they are? So you look at that YouTube. Hang on. So look at that YouTube video. Listen to a stranger. Then go to YouTube and type in gang stalking bullying on steroids. Then go to Google and type in gang stalking and police. Gang stalking in court, gang stalking in prosecutors, gang stalking in DA's office, gang stalking in Attorney General's offices. Do it. Gang stalking in the FBI. Okay. For years, I have been avoiding implicating the FBI because I didn't have no sound proof or evidence, and I didn't honestly have the time to in-depthly research how they're being implicated. But if you type it in at Google, look at how many Google-generated numeric responses come up, and then look at what the targets are saying concerning the FBI. Just look at it. You know, my name is Leslie Williams. I'm in my 50s, which means I've been around a while. Okay? I'm not stupid. If you were to type in gang stalking and police, then organized stalking and police, and you get hundreds of thousands of responses and maybe even millions, do you really think that's an accident? So research what I described in this video alone, and you'll see that's what they're doing. So I'm predicting. They'll also claim that that they were just going for a walk in the wooded area and stumbled across my bike, or stumbled across me, or heard me, saw me, or saw my property. So I'm predicting it now, and this friggin' video applies for the next 2 months, no matter where I'm at. Thank you.